Hey guys, welcome to Wicked Mammy. Today, we are doing something amazing. We're doing Shark Week nails with 3D fins. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. So yeah, let's get started. As usual, the links to all the products I've used today will be below. If they're available online, I will say I think one or two of the nail polishes I used are not available online anymore. So for that, I am sorry, but I will try and include some comparable products that you can find online. Now, I was going to do the fins for these out of some 3D liquid acrylic stuff I found online. However, it has absolutely no instructions and I have no idea how to use it because I can't find anything about it online now. And it's like chemicals and I'm supposed to mix things together and I have no idea how to do this. So instead, we're just gonna do the fins out of gel polish because I imagine that's a little more easy to find for most of you than this weird acrylic stuff that I'm sure if I don't know how to use, you probably don't know how to use. But if you do, please tell me in the comments so that I can do another mani including the 3D stuff I purchased. So anyway, let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sheet of wax paper and then I'm going to take out some gel polish. I will preface this with this is gel polish I would not actually use on my nails. It is a polish I am not a fan of for my actual nails because it is very, very thick. So I figure it will be perfect to make shark fins out of because we need them to be on the thicker side. So figure that'll work out, right? So because I have no idea what I'm doing, let's all just pretend I do and have fun with this. So I'm going to take this gel polish and I'm going to drop it onto the wax paper and then use a paintbrush to try and make it into a shark fin shape. So I'm praying that there's no weird reaction between the wax paper and the gel polish, and then once I cook it in the gel polish easy bake oven thing. I've never tried this, so please pray for me. So I'm just gonna make 5 shark fins here, or blobs that look like shark fins. And then after I have my shark fin shapes in place, I will cook them in my easy bake oven. Now, if you want to replicate these and you don't like the way your shapes are turning out, you can use a nail file once they're cooked to file them into your desired shape. So if they're not flat enough on the bottom to go on your nail, or for whatever reason they've got a weird side to them that you don't like, you can use a nail file to get rid of that. So now that I have the shapes the way that I want them, I'm just going to cook them inside of my nail oven. I'm going to cook them for 30 seconds and see if that's enough. And they were still a little tacky after 30 seconds, so I went ahead and did them for another 30 seconds. And after that, they seem to be done. Your mileage may vary depending on what gel polish you use for this, so just keep that in mind. Okay, now that these are done, I'm going to try and peel them off of the wax paper. And they stuck. They stuck a lot. I was expecting them to pop off really easily because I thought that's what wax paper was for, and nope, they definitely stuck to it. I don't know if you can use baking spray with gel polish. I don't know. I mean, structurally they're fine and I can just put some nail polish on it or scrape off the bits of wax paper with a nail file to get them to be the way that I want them to be. But this is not what I was expecting to happen. But I guess, you know, at least we didn't have a weird chemical reaction between the wax paper and the gel and the light. That's what I was afraid of. I was really afraid I was gonna set my nail desk on fire. Or maybe kill myself with some weird chemical reaction. So if peeling off bits of wax paper from my shark fins is the worst thing to come out of this, I will take that 100%. Okay, now that I have these peeled off, let's try and paint them gray. I would have used just a gray gel polish if I had one, but I don't. So now we get to paint them gray with regular nail polish. And I have to say, I really wish I would have just painted them before I peeled them off, but I was a complete idiot. So I'm going to struggle to paint these gray, and you can watch as I do that. And I'm just gonna put on some music while I paint these gray. And we're back. Now that our shark fins are done, it is time to put on some liquid latex so that we can do some gradients. Now you will see that my nail color has changed. I am now wearing an Emily de Molly shade, and I have no idea what it's called right now, so that'll be below. In the links, it'll be in the links below because I have no idea what the name is. But anyway, okay, liquid latex. You're going to put it all around your fingers because we're going to do some gradients and you're going to get it everywhere if you don't. We're not going to do any stamping. There's no stamping in this mani at all. We're going to do hand painting, but if you're going to do a gradient, you need to make sure that your fingers are completely protected because otherwise you are going to have polish everywhere and it will be a nightmare to clean up. I promise you. Now that that is all set, we are going to get out our makeup sponge. And we are going to put on a light shimmery blue. Then we're going to put on a hollow blue. And then we're going to put on a matte dark blue. You do not have to use the matte one. I do not know why this polish has a matte finish, to be perfectly honest. But it is gorgeous when you put on a glossy top coat, which is the only way I wear it. So I absolutely love the shade, and it's perfect for a shark mani because it gives you some of the colors of the ocean. So the look we're trying to go for with the radial gradient that we're doing here is to replicate the ocean so that, you know, it's sharks. It's got to look like the shark is in the ocean. So there you go. Now it looks like there's a little bit of the ocean on my nail. Now I gotta tell you, I think this is gorgeous and I would leave it just like this if I didn't have to put sharks on it. But I do, so I'm just gonna do the same thing for my other nails so that every nail will have the exact same gradient on it. We don't want any of our nails to look any different, so you want to try and replicate it as good as you can on each nail. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, if there's any parts that you don't like the way it looks, you can just put a shark over it, and then no one will ever know that you messed up. And that is the beauty of these shark nails. And there we have our gradients. Pretty, right? I'm a big fan of these colors for a gradient. I might have to do these for some other nails. Maybe I'll finally do some mermaid nails. Now we are going to get out a smaller sponge and we're going to get out a gray polish. This is a thicker gray polish, but you can use a thinner gray polish if you have one. What we're going to do is we're going to put blue on the ends so that it will blend in with the rest of the polish that we already have on here, and you're just going to dot it in the middle. This is to give us a good area for the shark's body to appear on the nail. So wherever you want your shark to appear, this is where you're going to dot this on. Now, the beauty of having the blue on there, if you think that the gray is too opaque in any area, just go around the edges with the blue and that'll help blend it in a little bit so that that looks like part of the shark's body is still underwater and you can't see it completely. Again, just like the other nails, you're going to do this on every nail. You're just going to add the gray on there, the dots of blue, and then you're just going to pat it on your nail each time. If you need it thicker, go over it twice. If you want it thinner, use a thinner polish or mix your polish with some acetone before you put it on your sponge. And there we have our template for where our shark's bodies are going to appear. Now it is time to get out your paintbrush. If you still have your wax paper out, put some dots of gray nail polish onto your wax paper so that you can use this to paint. I'm going to tell you, do not use more than one dot of nail polish at a time because it will dry as you start to use it. So you don't want to waste a whole lot of nail polish that you don't need to. Just use one dot at a time. As soon as your dot's used up, use another dot. If you want to mix in grays, use several different dots of grays, or you can mix in white or black to make your gray darker if you want to add more depth to your shark. Now, all we're going to do is start to draw the outline of the shark's body. Again, if you don't have a gray, you could probably use white for this and achieve the same effect. But I have a shimmery gray that I like from Essie, so that's what I'm using. So on each nail, you are going to paint the outline of the shark's body, and then you're going to paint some fins. And then from there, we will add more depth to the shark, but the first thing that you should focus on is getting the body of the shark done before you add any other details. If you don't like using nail polish for this because you feel like you're going to mess up, use acrylic paint, and then you can scrape off anything that you mess up so you don't have to worry if you screwed up. If you use nail polish, just paint over it with some blue and it'll blend in with the background and no one will ever know you messed up. Now I'm going to turn on some music while I do this. All right, now that we have all of our hand painting done, it is time to put on our shark fins. Oh my god, I cannot believe how long this video is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry it's so long. These took forever, though. Now that our shark fins are dry and the gray paint on them is dry, we're going to peel them off of the wax paper again. Thankfully, this time, they did not stick. Well, maybe a little, but none of them peeled any wax paper off this time, at least. The length of my nails makes it incredibly difficult to pick these up, so I'm going to use some tweezers so that I can position these. So what you're going to do is you're going to put some top coat on your nail. I recommend that you do it thicker, especially in the area that you want to position the fin. And you're going to let your top coat dry just enough that it's tacky. And then you're going to take your tweezers, pick up your shark fin, and you are going to push it into the top coat so that hopefully it will sit. I should have done this with a gel top coat so I could have cooked it and made sure that it was gonna like stay and stick properly and not dry weird. However, I was really afraid of the fins falling over while it was cooking. I mean, not seeing it happen. So because of that, I did these with the regular polish, and I have to say it was difficult. I had to keep making sure that the fins weren't kind of like sloping to the side, like you'll see happen on my ring finger a couple times. So I did essentially have to babysit these fins to make sure they didn't bend over or fall off my nail. But I have to say overall it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Basically, I stuck them in, made sure that they were sort of staying where I wanted them to, and then I put more fast dry top coat on the sides of the fin to kind of reinforce them so that they would stay up. It did take a little bit to get them to stick up straight, and I had to use the tweezers a few times to get them to stick the way that I wanted them to and to position them the way that I wanted to. The one on my ring finger is still a little like bent to the side, but not so much that it really bothered me. I mean, I guess, you know, there's only so much you can expect from nails that are 3D and made out of things that they're not supposed to be made out of, like gel polish. But overall, I think I did okay. Now, once the top coat is mostly dry, then we need to paint the fins so that they match the sharks. Because the gray that I used on the fins themselves is much darker than the actual sharks, and I want them to blend in a little bit more. So I'm going to use some of the lighter color gray that I used for the bodies of the sharks to paint the fins, and this was absolutely nerve-wracking. I thought that I was going to knock these off my fingers as I painted them, so I did it as gently as possible because the top coat was not completely dry as I was doing this. Again, probably not the best decision of my life, but it all worked out in the end. And once we have that gray on, that's it. We are done. Again, I'm sorry this video is so long, but I think it was worth it. What do you guys think of these Shark Week nails? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you liked it. Please like up this video and comment below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.